Call to order. AGUA Special Utility District regular call board meeting. Number 1, call to order. Roll call. Maribel Diaz, absent. Cesar Rodriguez, absent. Ricardo Perez,
Here.
present. Lloyd Loya,
Here.
Homer Tijerina,
Here.
and Ivan Sandoval.
Here.
We have a quorum. Item 1B, invocation. Who's doing the invocation? Pat.
Lord, we are meeting today to conduct matters of business, guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. Thank you for being our source of guidance today. Amen.
Item 1C, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 1D, public comments. Mr. Salinas, do we have?
Yes, Madam President, we have Mr. Jose Luis Perez, the City of Palmview, on the public comment.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Perez.
Good evening. I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good evening, Madam President, Board of Directors, and community members. My name is Jael Perez, City of Palmview. More importantly, I'm the member of the community. The reason I'm here is to address some of the issues with the streets. I have been here before and we have met to discuss possible solutions, but we have not gone into concrete information or solutions that we have to fix the streets. First of all, I want to thank M2 Engineering for always answering calls and provide assistance to our community members. Every time I called, they're always assisting the people there in the community. So we're very pleased with that. I want to address certain streets that need a lot of attention. We are in a situation where accidents are very close to take place. We already had some instances in 495, and we just don't want for it to be more dangerous than what it is right now. We understand that the lines have not been fully ready to service the sewer project, but we're here to discuss options for street repair. I'm going to name a few streets that I've personally took a time to go and look at some of the dangers. Marla Street, there's a piece that need to be addressed. Donna Street, they're building some homes there, and there's a manhole there that has an indentation that needs to be repaired. Of course, we know South La Joma, Brayfogle, and 495. A lot of those streets might not be fixed completely. We understand that because of the sewer project, but we need prompt solutions to make sure that we, together with the City of Palmview and AGUA, we can come to something concrete and have some safety precautions in this community. On the positive note, we know that LNG have been very cooperative, and some of those streets that they have repaired have been so far working, so which is good, and we hope that it continues. I noticed that there's an item in the agenda on street repair. I'm hoping that some solutions comes out of that. You know, our community deserves much better, and I think they've been waiting for a long time to get this fixed. And I think together, if we can involve the county, other entities, but we need to get this fixed as quick as possible. Thank you so much. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you. Item number 2, minutes. 2A, approval of minutes for February 7th, 2022, AGUA board meeting.
So move.
I have a motion by Tijerina.
Second.
I have a second by Sandoval. Are those in favor? Say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3, presentation, discussion, and possible action regarding proposed agreement with Hidalgo County for water payment assistance, a low-income water assistance program, LIWAP.
Yes, Madam President, we have Mr. Jaime Longoria and Ms. Clara Chapa from the Hidalgo County Community Service Agency for a presentation.
Thank you. Hi.
Madam President, my name is Jaime Longoria, and rest of the board members, my name is Jaime Longoria, and I'm the Executive Director of the Hidalgo County Community Service Agency. I will say I feel like it's a homecoming to me because years ago, as Mr. Perez mentioned on his way in, he recognized me. I spent a lot of days and years, actually, of my early career in what used to be La Jolla Water Supply in those days, and I was at its infancy. So I feel good about coming back, and I'm excited to talk to you all today about our program that we lovingly call LIWAP, just because we're bureaucrats and we like to speak in using initials and acronyms. So it's the Low Income Water Assistance Program, okay? Many folks in Hidalgo County and across the state know us for our utility assistance program. It's our LIHEAP program, Low Income Housing and Energy Assistance Program, where we can help people pay their light bill. Okay, that morphed into being able a couple of years ago to help families with their light, their electricity, and their gas bill. And now during the pandemic, it's morphed into allowing us to assist families with their water bill. Okay, now during the pandemic, it's nice to know that we were able to assist many families in the throes of the pandemic to be able to keep their water on and keep them in their homes, pay their rent, and help them with mortgages when things got really tough. That was kind of an emergency allocation. This particular program is a dedicated program that we anticipate will run through about September of 2023, at least. Okay, that's what we're being told by the state. These are federal funds that come from the federal government to the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs, and they were charged with setting up a program. The state of Texas, TDHCA, then set up a kind of a three-tiered approach to assisting families with water. It started off to be modeled after the LIHEAP program, and then it kind of changed a little bit, and I just want to give you the highlights. The number one caveat to all of this is, in order to participate, for us to participate with you, we would need an agreement, a vendor agreement with you all. Okay, it's a standard agreement that the state of Texas provides us, and we would have to get that signed, have it reviewed by your legal counsel, have it reviewed by our legal counsel, and then come to an agreement. Parts of it can be changed, but by and large, the document has to remain pretty close to the original document that was provided to us. Secondly, the three-phased approach, as I mentioned, is the first phase is to help families that are struggling with, that are completely disconnected from water service. So we would work with you and your staff to identify those families that are lacking water service, and then we could provide assistance, financial assistance, as many times as needed to get those families connected, okay? So let's say we have a family that's currently disconnected. We provide the service, 2 or 3 months in, they get disconnected again. We could come back and provide assistance. So the first phase is strictly to assist families who are disconnected from the system. The good news about this program is that it allows us to pick up a lot of the connection fees, reconnection fees, many of the disconnection fees that are associated with reestablishing service, and it allows us to really do a lot of that. The other thing, and the reason we provided you kind of a brochure of our program in general, is we have other pockets of funds that might be able to assist families if they're struggling with some of those other fees that may not be picked up. They're really two involved. I don't want to get into the weeds today, but the overall picture is we can pick up a lot of the fees that are associated with families, meter fees, and those kinds of things. The other part of this is that TDHCA is in the process of really honing this program in and really developing the details to the program. So as we go along, we'll be kind of filling in some of those details. The second phase of the program is to assist those families to bring them to current. Okay, so we may have families that are struggling with previous utility bills that are not quite disconnected, but they're just struggling just to kind of keep up. So we're able to assist families remain current within your system. We don't know when that phase is going to kick in, but the state wants us to go through and pay everybody that's disconnected first, and then as a state, together with the rest of the community action agencies, we will decide when that second phase kicks in. The final phase is is what is most similar to our LIHEAP program, and that's where we can assist families into the future, where we can take a family that's struggling, that is below 150% of federal poverty, and we can assist them to and pledge an amount to you all and say, you know what, we're going to pick up, for instance, let's say your high months are June, July, and August, okay, similar to utility assistance as far as electricity, then we would pledge to you all that we would be able to pay those amounts, okay? And let me tell you a little bit about our model, because I want to make sure that you understand what our model is. So we work on a pledge system. Somebody comes into our agency, they apply, they fill out our application, they provide income information, okay? They have to be below 150% of federal poverty to qualify for our program. The very last sheet that I gave you, I believe it's the last sheet in your packets, is an income matrix. Okay, it looks something like this. So if you look at 150% of federal poverty for a family of 4 is $41,625 dollars. I'm sorry, $41,625. So knowing the demographics of the area, I was born and raised in Mission, and my parents grew up in Ojo de Agua. I know that's a pretty wide net in western Hidalgo County, as it is across Hidalgo County just in general. So we would be able to assist families who are struggling to that end. The main mechanism, and I'm looking over to the people who operate the agency, okay, not the board now, is that we would basically send them a pledge. We're working with a family, they've qualified, we promise that we're going to send a payment within the next 45 days. At that point, because that's happening, then we would ask that all other measures of disconnection or all other types of measures, the fees stop and all that other stuff until we send you a check, okay? Now, our agency is very well known throughout the county. We have about a 40-year history in the county administering electricity payments. We work with 52 or 55 electricity companies, Magic Valley, CP&L, Direct Energy, and really any electric company that you can imagine. And we have a pretty good record of pledging and paying our bills, okay? So that we are an agency, a department of the County of Hidalgo. So we are very responsive, of course, to the Commissioner's Court and, of course, to the county judge. I kind of tried to give you a synopsis of what the program entails, but basically it's assisting families pay their water bills and get them connected to the system. And I certainly would entertain any questions that you might have of me.
Mr. Longoria,
Yes.
we can hear also their sewer fees.
Absolutely.
We also, some of our customers from Sullivan City have sewer. How would that work?
Well, we're looking to find a way to separate those fees, and if and one of the questions that we have into TDHCA is when the bill comes combined, because many times the bills are combined and not separated. We're trying to figure out how that's going to work. Okay, we are hoping that they're going to allow us to do sewer fees as well.
But can we include that in the same agreement right now, or do we have to come back?
We-
Do you have to come back to us?
I think we'd have to come back
For
at
the
this point.
sewer.
I think we'd have to come back at this point to, that's the way the state is looking at it. It's a brand-new program. As you can tell, when you look at the Texas Administrative Code, I've literally given you everything that's in the TAC, and it's one page and it's a paragraph. It says we're going to establish a program, and then we're going to go forward.
Yeah.
So we're, at this point, we are developing the meat and bones of the program, but the thrust of it right now is to get people connected to water.
Water.
Yes.
How would you make contact with these individuals, or would you have a tent here, or do they have to go to a certain office, or?
Well, our current model, so we would have we would provide you with information on our program. We could theoretically train your staff to let them know about our program.
Okay.
They would refer them to a website, okay? Now, we understand that websites are difficult to navigate for some folks. We're hoping to push as many people to the website as we possibly can. But such as the utility program, we do have the ability to accept applications through mail, okay? And they can also come into our office. At different points in the year, when our demand is really high, we will open up a precinct office. We've established a presence literally before the pandemic, working out of the mansion, which is behind the Precinct 3 offices. So we'll go in other occasions. We may take a mobile vehicle and park our trailer out in a particular place and pick up applications. So we'll do everything we can to be as visible as we possibly can to your customer base.
Okay.
Mr. Longoria, just
Yes.
actually thank you for the FAQ handout that knocked out a number of questions that I have
That's right.
for you. As far as logistics go of making the determination and identifying a particular AGUA customer and making sure that a payment that is made from the program gets allocated to them, help the board understand how we work with you guys to make sure that happens.
So I can describe the electric model, and the water model is going to run parallel to that. So a customer comes in, they apply for assistance with us. We certify them as having qualified for assistance. They're below 150% of federal poverty. There's at least one person in the household that would qualify. Okay, now I'm talking about mixed status families in some cases. So as long as there's one person in the family and they qualify under our income guidelines, we can go ahead and certify them for assistance. We would give them a sheet that says this is what you qualify for, and then we would send notice to you all and letting you know Jaime Longoria in this instance would qualify for assistance, and it would be a list literally by month that says on March 1st, okay, we're going to send you a payment for all of these customers together. We give you the name of the customer, the account number, and other identifying information so that you can have that. That's electronically sent. There is, on some occasions, there's back and forth. This customer no longer resides here, so you'll have to return the money at the end of the term. So there is some back and forth that happens, but by and large, this is a process that works very, very well for us, communicating back and forth electronically.
But the district doesn't have to worry about it, actually certifying it. That's something that the
No, sir.
program does.
That's actually that's in our hands. That's right. So all the communication would be through our agency.
You're good. With that being said, I move to approve item 3, contingent to legal reviewing the proposed agreement.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Loya, I have a second by Tijerina. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, sir.
Madam President, you just give me just one more minute. I
Yes,
just wanted to
of course.
mention a couple of other great programs that we have. In addition, and this is now just a commercial, okay? I'm going to be very cognizant of your time. A great program that we just unveiled. It's not, I call ourselves the padrinos of this program because it's not our money, but it's our Texas Homeowner Assistance Fund. It's administered by the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs. It's to help families who are behind on their mortgage and or their property taxes. Okay, and I think the property tax is the one I want to emphasize, recognizing that many of our elderly struggle with making payments on their property taxes, and many of them lose their homes.
Yes.
They are faced with either entering a program that'll take their home when they pass, or just literally losing their home to taxes. So it's TexasHomeownerAssistance.com. And it's for families. We piloted the program, and I smile because they asked us what income limits we should set. And in Hidalgo County, we said we wanted to set $78,000 as a threshold. So any family that earns less than $78,000, and now it's statewide, would qualify for this program if they're behind on their property taxes or their mortgage. So it's $78,000 across the board, and many of you all, will know families, especially in this area, okay, that can qualify for these programs. And if they have any questions whatsoever, call us at our agency, and we'll be glad to connect them with that particular program. So thank you for indulging me in that, and spread the word. We've already spent, before the rest of the state got a chance to work on this program, we had actually already spent a little over $2.5 million. So we got to pilot it, and I'm very proud of that. And we served well over 450 families, and we're hoping to continue that momentum to help families not only recover from the pandemic, but really catch up with the years of property taxes that they've fallen behind. Yeah. Up to $25,000 in back property taxes, up to $40,000 in mortgage, and it can be any number of years in arrearage. Okay, so if they were behind 5 years and they're $5,000 behind on their property taxes, it'll go up and scoop up all that and pay all of that. Okay, so pass the word. It's a powerful program. So thank you all so much for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Longoria. Item number 4, discussion and possible action on a price adjustment request for liquid ammonium sulfate by Chemtrade Chemicals LLC.
Make a motion to take this item into executive session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a motion by Loya to move item 4 into executive.
Second.
I have a second by Sandoval. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5, discussion and possible action authorizing general manager to advertise for competitive bids on the purchase of water treatment chemicals.
Madam President, these two items really relate to each other, and so with the legal advice that I've got for the board with respect to number 4 also applies to 5.
Okay.
If the board thinks it'd be appropriate to take this one to executive session as well, I would certainly agree with that.
Okay.
Motion for item number 5 to be taken into executive session.
Okay, I have a motion by Loya.
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Perez. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6, discussion and possible action on approval of resolution to add new signer and authorized persons to the investment account with Multi-Bank Securities, Inc.
Yes, Madam President, board members, this is an update for the multi-bank investment account that we have. And of course, it's a non-corporate resolution form. Mr. Jaime and Reina purchasing, finance director here for a brief summary.
Yes, this is to update the authorized signer and the authorized persons on the investment account that we have with Multibank. Currently, we have the prior GM listed as the authorized signer, and the authorized persons are past the finance staff. We recommend to update, to include Ms. Solis as the authorized signer and include Mr. Salinas and myself as authorized persons.
Okay.
Motion to approve item 6.
I have a motion by Loya.
I second the motion.
I have a second by Diaz. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, discussion and possible action authorizing general manager to solicit contract for insurance agent of record for district.
Madam President, there's an existing contract with our current agent of record. It has come up, the end of that term is on April 1st of this year. There's an issue about a termination provision. I've got some legal advice on the status of that contract with respect to the possible solicitation for a new agent. And so if the board would care to hear it, motion to take it to executive session would work.
Okay.
I move to take item 7 to executive session.
Okay, I have a motion by Loya.
Second the motion.
I have a second by Diaz. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8, discussion and possible action authorizing general manager to submit declaration of loss and request for restitution from Jaime Alberto Rodriguez pursuant to notice from Probation Office of the United States District Court for the Southern District of Texas.
Madam President, we being the district, received a letter from the United States District Court Probation Office dated February 8, 2022. That letter notified the district that the district may qualify for a restitution payment in the amount of $56,618.84 relating to a criminal action against Jaime Alberto Rodriguez that's currently pending. We do not know, as we sit here right now, I say we've looked, at least preliminarily, exactly how they calculated that number. But what we do know is that the U.S. Attorney's Office must have some information that suggested to them that we, being the district, might be entitled to restitution in that amount. In order to qualify for that or to seek that restitution, they've indicated that we have to submit an affidavit supporting it. Like I said, since we don't know what that is right now, my office has reached out to the U.S. District Attorney's Office to try to figure out where'd you get the $56,000 from, so we could submit an affidavit. All right. The deadline to submit that is actually March 10th, which is this week. There may be a potential to get an extension on that, but because it is a matter seeking payment of $56,000, we wanted to bring it to the board's attention and seek for the board to discuss whether or not they wanted to authorize a general manager to submit that affidavit. Of course, we'd only submit that affidavit if we could find the evidence and the documents to support whatever we're requesting. But we wanted to bring that to the board's attention and for the board's consideration of whether or not you want to authorize the general manager to move forward with the submission of that affidavit.
Did Jaime ever do any work for us?
I
That
don't.
we actually paid him?
Okay, I don't see. I don't know. What my understanding is, from Mr. Hendricks' newspaper articles largely, is that he had some involvement in a subcontractor for PSI. Okay, and that's really the extent I know of it, and that's why I say I don't know what this $56,000 relates to. We endeavor to find that out here in the next several days.
But in order for us to find out, we need to allow Mr. Salinas to,
give the information they need.
so we can be able to get the information
I
that we
felt
need.
it was prudent that
Yes.
before the general manager file an affidavit seeking restitution of $56,000, that the board know about it, and
Right.
that the board give us some direction on whether or not you want us to do that. Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna need a motion for item number 8.
Motion to approve item 8.
Second.
I have a motion by Loya, I have a second by Perez. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9, General Manager's Report. 9A, December Financials. Mr. Salinas.
Yes, Madam President, I have here again, Mr. Jaime Reina, Finance Director, for a brief overview.
Okay.
Yes, Board, just some year-end financial highlights. Total water sales for the year was $8,900,000. Total sewer revenue was $638,000. Overall, operating revenue was $10,821,000. Our total operating expenses net of depreciation was $7,875,000, and the total debt service paid for 2021 was $3,747,000. Oh, talking to the mic. Sorry. Should I just repeat myself again?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes,
Just a little bit slower, please. Because the numbers are going too fast.
just some year-end financial highlights. Total water sales for the year was $8,900,000. Total sewer revenue was $638,000. Total operating revenues was $10,821,000. Total operating expenses net of depreciation expense was $7,875,000. And for debt service paid in 2021 was $3,747,000.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jaime. Item 9B, City of Palmview Street Improvements.
Yes, Madam President, on this item, AGUA SUD has been working with the City of Palmview. Again, as far as all the paving areas, that have experienced trench settlements, to have them pave again through certain areas. We have been working with Mr. Jeff Chapman and M2 Engineering to provide some of the areas that have been substantially complete, so that the city can move forward using either city forces to pave those distressed areas, or hire a contractor to complete some of those areas. And basically, they're looking for justification from AGUA SUD as far as the areas that have been substantially complete, so that they can work on them. So I know that we have been part of several meetings, Madam President and myself with them, and we have discussed this again with them to find a solution.
Is that complete overlay or just patches?
Right now, it's gonna be patchwork through those areas, substantially
Because,
completed areas.
I hear from you, that's, going through, just me driving from the bank over here is terrible, so, we need to work with them as much as we can. Are we gonna reimburse them, whenever, how is that gonna happen?
Yes, that's gonna be part of an item that we have on executive session, that Mr.
Okay.
Javi Peña is gonna
Yeah,
brief us on.
okay.
Okay. Item 9C, Texas Water Development Board Palmview Sanitary Sewer Improvement Project.
Yes, on this item, Madam President, members of the board, I'm gonna be presenting on the what we call the LNG project, which is contract 04 Palmview Collection System Phase 1. Group B and F. Again, the contractor was LNG Construction, and the final contract amount was for $10,356,837. We have received the final letter as far as the releasing or the certificate of approval and the authorization to release the retainage. And basically, the final agreement that we have, of course, with LNG was for $515,000. So hopefully we'll get those funding available soon. But we just received notice on that, so we're I guess on the edge to close out the project finally.
That project is complete, is working fine?
Yes, and this is the section south of US 83 between Minnesota and Abram Road.
Everything's working smoothly?
That, yes.
How many connections is that area?
I don't have those connections, I'm not sure. Milo, it's on the
Milo.
call.
Milo.
Approximately 1,000 connections on the LNG side.
1,000 connections.
Nice.
Okay. Thank you, Milo.
Are there any more to be connected?
In that area, there's only about 20 that are pending to be connected that are just a little bit more difficult to get to because either the homeowner's not there, there's others that are rejecting to get connected, and then there's others that have concrete and just a little bit more difficult to construct, but there's only approximately 20 pending in the LNG area.
Nice. Thank you, Milo.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Item number 10, District Engineers Report 10-8, NatBank Technical Assistance Agreement, Sewer Hookups.
Good evening, board members. Milo Salinas with M2 Engineering. Right now, Morwell has completed 1,388 service connections. Out of those 1,388, 448 are on the phase 2 side, which we call the SureTech side. Out of those 1,388, 1,078 are live and connected to the collection system. And out of those, 1,054 septic tanks have been pumped and hauled and disposed of the spoiled materials. And out of those, 1,048 have been fully decommissioned and filled with sand. That's the status. It's approximately overall 75% complete with the project.
Nice.
Thank you.
Milo, quick question. Did we ever get all the documentation that we needed from the subcontractors for this project?
We have not received that. The only thing that we received was that, no, sorry, yes, we did.
You got them already?
Forwarding that to, I don't know if Pam and if Robert were also copied on the email, but I'll go ahead and forward that.
All right.
Thank you, Milo.
Thank you, Milo. 10B, Mile 3 Road Waterline Improvement.
Right now, they kind of got a little slow because of the weather, but if you remember in the last meeting, they were approximately 90% complete with the original scope of the work, but there was some additional work for a line to get relocated between Abram and the irrigation canal, as well as 2 other intersections. So overall, they're approximately 70% complete, and they're expecting to receive the additional materials within the next 2 weeks to get this work completed. The final completion date is May 21st, and we expect that they will be finished by then or prior.
Nice.
Okay.
Any questions on Mile 3?
No, sir.
No. Thank you, Milo. Item 10C, Texas Water Development Board Palmview Sanitary Sewer Improvements Project.
On this project, as Mr. Roberto Salinas was mentioning, we're getting close to where 3 out of the 4 contracts will be pretty much closed out, which is the lift stations that have been closed out. LNG is getting close to being closed out, and now the Morwell for the main days that one will be closed out. So the last project remaining is the SureTech area. We're working with the surety bond. They've completed 2 areas where we've accepted the areas, which is service area G7 and A1E. Right now, we've done a walkthrough on the remaining of the project, which is service area A1 and G1. On service area A1, they're getting closer to complete that. They have 9 to 10 manholes that have issues, that have infiltration, concrete base. So they're making some repairs on those manholes to hopefully eliminate the infiltration. And once they do that, that area basically will get to where the entire south area will be substantially complete south of the expressway. We've done a walkthrough on service area G1, which is basically from Minnesota to Great Bogle on the north side of the expressway. That area had some sections that were good, and then had some sections that are deficient. They're working on those repairs. We provided them with a punch list, what's required to make those repairs, and we anticipate that we're hoping that they'll be able to complete those areas to where it's tested and ready for its intended use within the next 3 months, next 2 to 3 months. Any questions on this project?
Questions?
I mean, can we have I don't know, every 2 weeks or 3 over here on the north side of the highway, because it's, I mean, it seems to be taking forever. And every time I pass, they're pumping water like they're not moving. I mean, I don't know if we can send them another letter, or I don't know. I mean, you as an attorney, what can we do? Because it's terrible. I mean, and we see it. I mean, 3 months, I think is a little bit too much for the residents of Palmview. So I need you, I mean, I don't know, maybe you can bring in me here, we can have a meeting or a workshop with them, and also with the City of Palmview together, so they can know what we're talking about. Because, I mean, I know that, I mean, I haven't gone inside those manholes, but there's a lot of wrongdoing. And I'm not an engineer, but I saw some pictures, and it's not good. So I don't know, you need to, Robert, get with them, or, I mean, have regular meetings with those, with a bonding company, because, I mean, the people they put there, I mean, I think they're not doing their work. They already had 3 years, and they're 3 months, I think, it's a little bit too long to fix that. It was a river running through there. I mean, I saw it, you saw it, and it's I mean, there's no rain right now. Just imagine if it rains and all that. So 3 months, I mean, we can say 3 months for the City of Palmview and the residents, but it's gonna take more, and, you know, I don't know, I'm just probably talking because I'm a little bit frustrated too, you know, seeing that problem there.
Yes, no, definitely, as part of as Milo was mentioning, as part of the walkthroughs, we have done numerous walkthroughs with SureTech and OG as well, and of course, as part of the actual punch list, there's infiltration on some of the manholes, some corrections that need to get done.
Right, where were the supervisor, where were the engineers, where were the people paying to make sure that job was done correctly? I mean, where were they? I mean, sitting on top of their truck, or, I mean, it's not right.
I just feel that we already need to, like, this is ongoing. We already need to go to the next step. They could be saying 3 months, and then we get to 3 months, it's like, okay, another 3 months, and it's just continuous. I represent this district, and it's embarrassing that I don't have an answer for everybody, you know, and anybody that asks. And I just feel that it's gonna prolong the longer, and it's like Mr. Pettis says, we have to drive these streets on a daily basis. Just to get here is just like pothole after pothole, and the weather's not helping. So I just feel that it's already time for us to just jump into, I mean, even though we don't want to, I feel that we need to go to the next step.
Have regular meetings, I mean, every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, because, I mean, you can do a lot of things. And if there's a problem, a pipe is disconnected along the line, let's find it, and they need to dig it up and plug it or do whatever, and then go to the next goal. And just like I said, where was the engineer? Where was the engineer supervising this work. It's terrible. I mean, you look down the manhole, supposed to be smooth. Everything now is just like they just threw the cement on top of it and went to the next hole. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just a little bit frustrated, but hopefully with meetings and knowing that you guys are being pushed, I mean, and we've been pushed by the community also. And we got businesses coming. I mean, I think you've been talking to businesses, franchises that want to come into Palmview and they're ready to start construction. But the work to me and to the developer or when can I connect, you know? And I mean, that's aligned, but maybe I'm getting out of topic here, but we need to get that. I mean, put a little bit more pressure. I mean, have meetings, how long you having meetings? Every 2 weeks?
Every week.
Every week?
Yeah.
Okay,
Every week, and then we do walkthroughs as requests come in.
If they advance 1 inch, we wanna see, okay, where's the advance? What have you done, you know? And if they need to, I mean, I've seen manholes, I mean, I think they need to take them all out and redo them again. I mean, the way I see that. And there was, I mean, a ton of water going through, and they just, you know, but, you need to be a little bit more harsh on them. And, you know, maybe we don't wanna fire them because I think we're gonna have a bigger problem, but they need to make sure it's getting fixed. But thank you for hearing me.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Okay. Well, for the record, Maribel Diaz came in at 6:17 p.m. I just didn't want to interrupt the meeting that was going on or the presentation. So, continuing on to number 11, executive session, as provided by Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code Sections 551.071, -551.091, the Board of Directors may convene in closed executive session to deliberate, discuss, or consult regarding the matters listed below, and on proper motion and approval, any of the items set forth above. Item 11A, Texas Water Development Board, Palmview Sanitary Sewer Improvement Project, Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with attorney. Item B, Performance Service Inc., Contract and Guarantee, Texas Opens Meeting Act, Texas Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with attorney. Item C, FM 492, Water Treatment Plant, Water Recovery and Waste Process Improvements, Water Saver Update, Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with attorney. And then item D, interlocal agreement between AGUA and the City of Palmview regarding street improvements, Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with attorney. And then item number 4, discussion and possible action on a price adjustment request for liquid ammunition sulfate by Chemtrade Chemicals LLC. Item number 5, discussion and possible action authorizing general manager to advertise for competitive bids on the purchase of water treatment chemicals. And then item number 7, discussion and possible action authorizing general manager to solicit contract for insurance agent of record for district. With that being said, I need a motion to go into executive at 6:43 p.m.
I make the motion to go to executive at 6:47 p.m.
I have a motion by Ms. Diaz.
Second.
I have a second by Loya. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.